In this second video, I would like to demonstrate to you the basic functionality of capturing a TEK, which we anticipate will be the most commonly used function of the Protektant mobile application. So the first step, as was previously mentioned in the last video, is to select the Capture TEK button you see here located in the upper left corner of the Protektant dashboard. So I'm going to do that now. So now that I've selected the Capture TEK button, it is necessary for me to take a photo that's going to be linked to the TEK that I'm creating. As they say, a picture is worth 1,000 words, so it's important to choose a photo that helps describe the traditional knowledge well. Now in this case, I have a piece of indigenous art that I'm going to use in my example. It's a beautiful piece, and I'm just going to take a photo of that now. And as you can see in the second screen, I have the option to either retake the photo or to use the photo. Now in this case, I'm pleased with the result, so I'm going to select use. So this next screen that you see is the TEK details page. And this is where a user will enter all of the details regarding that particular TEK. So the upper section of the page is what we call the TEK viewer. And there are two tabs that make up the viewer. The first is the photo tab, which shows the photo link to the TEK. And the second is the map tab, which shows the location of the TEK. So this button here allows the user to rotate the photo clockwise. And this button allows the user to rotate the photo counterclockwise. This is an important feature. It's something we call a negative impact. And a negative impact is something that we anticipate would be caused by the Crown or a proponent's project that harms or disrupts the indigenous user or their community. This feature is important because it supports critical ongoing consultation throughout a project's life cycle. So if I were to identify a negative impact and I wanted to report it, I could use the Protektant mobile app to do that, go through all the steps that I've just shown you in capturing a TEK, but then select this checkbox. And once that's done, it's treated as a negative impact and handled in the system accordingly. And as we'll see in future demonstrations, it is differentiated from other forms of TEK records. So in this case, I'm not going to worry about labeling this piece of art as a negative impact, but I wanted to demo it to you just so that you have an understanding. This next box is a text field where you can enter the custom description of your TEK. So a user can enter up to 500 characters worth of text here. And this next text field is where you would enter what we call tags. And tags are short phrases or terms that are useful for characterizing the TEK and as a result improving the searchability of the created TEK within our system. We also include standardized categories, and here is where we're going to be setting the seasons category. So I'd like to add at this point that Protektant is a prototype, and while we've added some categories that we believe may be useful to indigenous users and communities, we acknowledge that there's still room to grow and improve the system, and this is one area where we'd love to get feedback from our user base. So we invite any suggestions or comments that would allow us to improve the categories that we are making available, as these are standardized within the system. This is where you select general categories to describe your TEK. So currently categories includes plant, animal, culture, historical site, spiritual belief, and medicinal. We'd love to hear from you about other categories you would like to see. We recognize that an Indigenous person may identify with more than one community, and Protektant supports that. This feature here is where you can choose the Indigenous community to be associated with this TEK. To make things easier, a default community is automatically selected on this page. The default community can be changed in settings. So once you've entered all the details of your TEK, the next step is to select the Submit button to save your TEK securely in the cloud. However, if an internet connection is not available, then the user will have to select the Save button to save their TEK locally to the mobile device. You can view, edit, and save them to the cloud later by selecting the Unsubmitted Text button from the dashboard that we had looked at previously. If finally you do not want to continue creating a TEK, then you can select the Discard button. Select this button identified here to access the menu to record an audio file linked to your TEK. Audio recording makes adding details about a TEK easier, as the user can just talk instead of typing. We feel that this feature would be especially useful in the context of recording elders' stories. And that pretty much wraps up an overview of the interface. So I'm going to go ahead and enter the information. First, I'll fill in the description box itself. And then I'm going to submit this TEK. But before I do, I'm going to just show you briefly the audio menu. We're not going to add an audio record today, but I do want to just show you that we have the capability. Here's the interface where audio can be recorded and then reviewed and finally connected to or linked to the TEK record. But I'm just going to go ahead and hit the submit button, and that's it. So in our next segment of the video, we're going to go to the web application. This is the home page of the website, and you'll have to excuse all the clutter. Currently, we're still developing the website, and this is essentially the administrative view. So you're actually seeing a lot of the capabilities that will be included for all users. Our site, we intend to support several different user types, including the Indigenous person, as well as Indigenous government users and Crown users and proponent users. So not all of this is necessarily going to be included in the different user types, but for the moment, it'll suit our purposes to illustrate the basic functionality. So if you recall, the TEK that I previously created was a painting, and I had tagged it as such and put that in my description. So I'm going to search for the term painting, and there it is. I will make it bigger, zoom in, so you can see where I'm located, where I created the TEK in beautiful downtown Ottawa, and going to show you now by clicking the show button. I will show you the basic TEK record. So there it is. You can see the description. You can see um, over here is the description, and we didn't select any seasonal value because I didn't feel it was necessary for this particular record. Here are the tags. It's not identified as a negative impact. It's not private, but I will point out that we have the ability to make it private down here. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And as you see, once I click the button, the private setting has changed to yes. So this TEK is now not consumable or viewable by any other user. We do intend to add future functionality regarding the privacy settings to allow for a more tiered approach. So you see the timestamp, you see the categories, the community that it's associated with, and the user information. Here's the photo, of course, that you will recognize, and over here on the right is the map with the pin. So that pretty much concludes our presentation of a general overview of the Protektant product, both the mobile application and the website. There are many other features that we did not demo here just for the sake of time. As you can see, it's probably taken approximately 15 minutes to go through this demonstration already, but we're happy to provide further information if you're interested. So I thank you for your attention, and I look forward to discussing the product and its potentials